Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Finally crawling out from under nutcracker craziness, and I'm ready to chit chat with you all about our Monday live education, and maybe catch up on Christmas stuff today. We'll see how that works out for me, right? Okay, so today I chose something a little different to talk about during my education, and that is, I don't know if you can see what it says, but I want to talk about the Nepal dryer ball set with wintergreen essential oil, and I want to talk about it for a couple of reasons. I want to talk about why wintergreen is a really great essential oil to have and how to use it, but I also want to talk about co-impact sourcing and why Nepal is really an amazing place that produces amazing oil, and that doTERRA is doing really great things for the people that live there. So, if you've not looked at the holiday items, this is the Nepal dryer ball set, okay? So, what it is you get 4 wool dryer balls, and I've already gotten mine, and they're in the dryer already, and a bottle of wintergreen, full-size bottle of wintergreen. So, what is this? We are a staticky people in my house, for real. So I was really hesitant to get rid of my dryer sheets, and still it's hard for me, not gonna lie. But wool dryer balls do a really good job of cutting down on the amount of static naturally. Okay, so you just throw them in there with your wet clothes, and they toss around with them. And then when my clothes are dry, because I usually don't use scented anything because we're all very sensitive skinned and it's just toxic fragrance anyway. I'll take the one or two dryer balls out, and I'll just put a drop on the dryer ball, put it back in with the dry clothes, and just do like a straight air fluff, no heat. It might be 10 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, but then everything smells nice and much less static. So these dryer balls, I'm going to post up on this page in a little bit a video that shows how these dryer balls are created by women who are working in Nepal. So it gives them income and a job to better their life. The bags are 100% cotton and created by them. The oil is basically sourced by the women who climb these crazy mountains and collect all these baskets of wintergreen leaves. It's really amazing to watch, okay? So I will post, I know I have one on the dryer balls and then maybe another on the sourcing, and they're both really crazy amazing. So you get four of those wool dryer balls and then the wintergreen. So first, let me just talk about wintergreen. Okay, so wintergreen on its own, if you are a member, it's $22 wholesale price. Retail price is $29.33. So if you're not a member, you can still get it for $29.33. So all of this together, while supplies last, they've got that backwards. Your wholesale price is $29.50. So basically $7.50 more. And you get the wool dryer balls, and your retail price is $39.33. Wintergreen is an amazing oil for some very specific reasons. Here we go. Ready? Listening. Its main chemical component, totally going to mess this up because I'm not a chemistry major, is something called menthol salicylate. Salicylate. There you go. That's used in a lot of topical creams and massage blends, okay? Because it's really packed with soothing properties, okay? So soothing when topically used. Wintergreen and birch are the only two plants in the world that have menthol salicylate in it. naturally, like naturally occurring. So wintergreen is also found in your oral hygiene products, chewing gum, all the candy, all that wonderful stuff. So yes, it can be used all those ways. Its aroma is really stimulating and uplifting. It's, obviously it's got a minty smell to it. And so diffusing it is uplifting and stimulating. Now, topically, it has a warming effect. That's why massage therapists use it, and that's why it's found in lots of topical creams, because it's going to warm any muscle that it comes in contact with. If you're going to use the oil by itself, highly recommend diluting it a little bit with fractionated coconut oil. I recommend that because it doesn't have any color, it doesn't smell, and it won't stain, but it does dilute the oil so it won't cause any sensitivity to your skin. But it's great for a soothing massage and for soothing bath. So if you've got achy muscles and you need everything to feel better, here's what you need to do. Don't just throw the oil in the tub. And I know you're going to read things that say, oh, just throw a couple of drops in the water and take a bath. Oil and water do not mix. They don't mix, okay? So here's what you do. 1 cup of Epsom salt. 1 cup. You can do up to 10 drops of something like wintergreen. Whisk it, stir it, get it all mixed up. Dump your Epsom salt in the bath. Epsom salt has great effects on your body anyway. Add the wintergreen to it or whatever you need to it. It's going to keep it suspended in the water so your body can absorb it. Boom. Just like that. All right. So these are the main uses for wintergreen, okay? Now, a couple other things I want to tell you about it. So wintergreen is sourced in the rural regions of Nepal. It comes from the leaves of these little shrubs. And like I said, it has the menthol salicylate that's just really unique. Strong soothing properties, naturally occurring, and it is treasured for topical benefits, commonly used in lotions, creams, and oral hygiene products. It's an ideal component for massages. It's sweet, minty, and refreshing aroma, uplifting, stimulating the senses. Okay, now, this is what impresses me, and this is really one of the reasons I want to talk about this today. The potency of an essential oil begins with the plant itself. True. Yeah. When a plant is grown in optimal soil, temperature, and climate, and then harvested at the right time, it enhances the potency of the plant's essential oil. So, like, you want a plant to grow in its natural habitat so that it has all the right properties. You try to grow frankincense in my backyard, it's not going to have the same properties that it would in Somalia. I mean, it's just not gonna, and it's probably gonna have some pesticides from runoff of people treating their yards. So, just as wintergreen oil is sourced in Nepal as a part of doTERRA's Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative, I'll talk about that in just a second. It is being grown in its optimal growing location. This is where it is found naturally. Okay, so it's growing there. It's harvested there. It is distilled there by the natives, native professionals that live there. And that sourcing allows doTERRA's oil to really have, to build and really maintain maximum potency. So good quality plants from their native environment with people who know how to use it. So doTERRA puts all their oils through crazy testing. So that's why when you see me write CPTG, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, it's a protocol. And it's a series of strict tests that determine the purity of each and every batch of essential oils. So they have to be found to be 100% free of any contaminants. Like, they've got the chemical compound of this is what wintergreen should look like. And if anything about it is wrong, the batch is gone. So until they are deemed completely pure, they will not sell them. So once they pass the testing, and they pass that testing at multiple stages, then they qualify to be sold. So they're pure, they're potent, they're highly effective. That's why I trust doTERRA. All right, specific ways to use wintergreen that I found. We've talked a little bit about it. Massages, especially post-workout. A little bit goes a long way. One drop always goes a long way of anything, but especially just because it's a pretty hot oil. Using your diffuser, it helps with clarity, like mental clarity, because the sweet minty smell, it has a clean aroma, it's uplifting and stimulating to the senses. It can help to mask unpleasant odors when you diffuse it. So I'll tell you, it just is a random hack that I do. If my car smells really bad, I will just take couple cotton balls and put some drops of essential oil and throw them underneath my seats, and it makes the whole car smell so much better. So wintergreen in your gym bag with a couple cotton balls could, make a difference, or underneath your car seats. Again, we talked about the Epsom salt wintergreen bath, and wintergreen is also really, really great for skincare. So applying wintergreen essential oil to your skin can help reduce the appearance of blemishes and help you feel comfortable. It promotes feelings of confidence, comfortable and confident inside your own skin. So I think that's a really nice, beautiful thing. Again, from the mountainous regions of Nepal, and like I said, I'll put 2 videos up. The one where it's showing them harvesting, it's insane to me that these women are capable of doing what they do, but it's great. So oils that blend really well with wintergreen, marjoram, and in fact today I made a roller bottle blend and donated it to a group that was asking just for some giveaway items, and it was a head tension blend, and it had wintergreen and marjoram. So wintergreen we know is really good. It's soothing, relaxing to muscles. Marjoram has the same effect. It's not as warm. It's not going to have that warming sensation, but it's really great for muscles. Peppermint, spearmint, thyme, oregano, and ylang ylang all really mix well with wintergreen. Wintergreen is in, if you're wondering where else it, we have a lot of blends for doTERRA. It is in the blend Past Tense, which is the tension blend that's really great for head and neck tension. And it's also in all the Deep Blue products. So if you love Deep Blue oil, then you love wintergreen. Okay, it's the very first ingredient, which means it's a huge portion of that oil. And it's in the Deep Blue rub as well. So wintergreen is great. Now, I want to tell you a smidge. Another reason I love doTERRA, I trust doTERRA because of their strict testing, but something very close to my heart is charitable efforts. And the fact that doTERRA does what's called co-impact sourcing is really important to me. And the fact that they reach out to the areas that are harvesting and growing the plants for essential oils and doing good in those areas makes me very proud. So just watch my sourcing video when it comes up, because they'll talk a little bit about it. But the Co-Impact Sourcing Initiative in Nepal allows doTERRA to source that high-quality evergreen oil while increasing the economic opportunity for these rural harvesters, because they're in these small little communities. So I'm looking because I want to get through it pretty quick. So to harvest the wintergreen, Nepalese harvesters, most of who I've seen are women. They travel through steep, muddy mountainsides, removing wintergreen leaves from the shrub. Many of these harvesters are women, there we go, who leave their families early in the morning and carry heavy baskets of wintergreen leaves on their back until they are nearly overflowing. And when you see these baskets, they're as big as the women. It's crazy. Full baskets are taken to the local distillery, like I said, local people doing it, where large stills are filled to the brim with collected wintergreen leaves. The distillation process takes roughly 14 hours to complete, yielding a very small amount of oil for all that they put in. Harvesters in these rural areas don't have many options when it comes to providing for their families. So they are very isolated. So to make an income and provide for their family is very, very difficult in general. And the ability to find work has become even more difficult in recent years due to natural disasters, which have severely limited economic opportunities, basically cutting them off, and the fact that they've needed to rebuild big areas. So doTERRA's co-impact sourcing initiative in Nepal, the Nepalese people are, a lot of them are very deeply concerned about sustainable wintergreen harvesting. They want this to be an income over long periods of time. So in the communities where wintergreen is wild harvested with doTERRA, there are organized community groups that collectively own and oversee the forest area. So it's not, doTERRA doesn't own it, it's the organized community groups that collectively own it. These groups decide which areas of wintergreen can be harvested, when to harvest them, because they know, they've lived there, and who will harvest the wintergreen in order to yield the greatest benefit for the community and ensure that the plants are properly cared for, not just whack it down. Within these groups, distillation units are typically community owned. So again, the community typically owns the distillation process. And then by using that type of harvesting system and distillation system, the power and the ownership of this harvesting and this oil remains with the Nepalese people, not with doTERRA. This system is a great fit for doTERRA's co-impact sourcing, working directly with community groups and harvesters. doTERRA has created long-term sourcing agreements to buy wintergreen essential oil. And they don't own the land. They don't tell the people what to do. And the people are making the decisions. And they're saying, we'll pay you a fair price. And then you're sustainable over a long period of time. It provides a steady and reliable income to these people and these harvesters, the distillers. And it gives doTERRA the top quality evergreen oil that's in its native habitat and harvested by people who know when it's ready to be harvested and how to distill it. So, if you remember, there were some devastating earthquakes in Nepal during the spring of 2015. And two of the hardest hit areas were areas that doTERRA works with very closely for wintergreen. And so it touched very close to home. And I think what really made me proud of doTERRA is like when I started watching their reaction, it wasn't, oh my gosh, we're going to lose our wintergreen. It was, these people need help. Like they're already in a situation that's not great. What can we do to help them? So after two devastating earthquakes in both April and May of 2015, organizations and nations around the world sent aid in the form of money, supplies, personnel to help Nepal rebuild. The outpouring of humanitarian aid was immense. Unfortunately, many of the remote villages were out of the scope and reach of available funding. So, the majority of the wintergreen growers and harvesters in Nepal live in the remote, I might get this wrong, so just go ahead and admit it. I'll just go ahead and admit it. Dolakha district, where almost every home was destroyed as a result of the earthquakes. So doTERRA partnered with Choice Humanitarian. The Healing Hands Foundation Healing Hands Foundation is doTERRA's foundation, set up a donation fund to assist in the relief relief efforts for those rural areas that weren't getting the aid they needed. And doTERRA helped to provide temporary housing tents for those whose homes were completely destroyed. Many of the distillation units were damaged in the earthquakes, making it difficult to produce the wintergreen oil, which was their entire income, economic source. So the Healing Hands Foundation and Choice Humanitarian helped the harvesters and other villagers get back on their feet and move forward. There's beautiful information in the videos that I will post showing the earthquake relief that was offered. There's a school project that's been created and offered there. Again, doTERRA partnered with Choice Humanitarian, and they completed the first of 2 earthquake-proof schools since Nepal's earthquake, which I think is really nice and beautiful. So when you watch that sourcing video and you see doTERRA working together with these Native people in Nepal, and how the partnership is really intentionally set up to sustain and improve the lifestyle of the people in those areas, and the reaction, like the true human reaction to the earthquakes and the devastation to those areas, I think you'll be overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed, and just very proud of doTERRA in general. So if you don't have wintergreen and if you don't have dryer balls, look into them, because they're a great deal. They're a great gift. And if you've not done this, do it, because it'll scare you half to death. Even if you clean your lint screen every single day, if you use dryer sheets, pull it out, go run it under your water in the sink and see how much water comes through the other side. It doesn't come through. I didn't believe it until my stepdad told me. Thanks, Doug. I had to take like a brush and I had to scrub it with like I think I had got out lemon oil and like Dawn and just went to town, and it finally, like, it's almost like the stickiness of the dryer sheets must melt or something, and it had clogged up all those holes. So, hello, fire hazard. So that was when I started to use the dryer sheets, or not the dryer sheets, sorry. Stopped using the dryer sheets and started using the wool dryer balls. And I usually keep a ton in there just because, like I said, we're a staticky people up in my house. But they are a great gift. They're a great option. Plus, you probably want to have wintergreen in your house because you're going to need it probably over the holidays. Just saying. And you get to support doTERRA's co-impact sourcing and their humanitarian efforts in Nepal, which I think is really beautiful. So if you have questions, post them up. I'm going to throw up a couple videos. One will be the sourcing video, which is just really, it's a little longer. It's like 8 minutes, but it's totally worth every second. The other is very short. It's like 1 minute and 40 seconds, but it shows how the wool balls are created and the cotton bags are created and how all of that is helping the Nepalese people. So check them out and post up questions if you have them. I'm here for all your questions. That's what I do. Bye, guys.